So do you want to have a business that is self-funded for life? In this video, I'm going to give you the most 3 common strategies a lot of corporations deploy for them to be self-funded for life. You've got to watch this video. Hi, I'm Taimour Zaman from Allfunds Global, previously known as LineofCredit.ai. My organization helps successful businesses leverage their assets, capital, matters of credit, bank guarantees, to access capital that banks are offering to the top 30% of their customers. We can do this because of our relationships, because of the volume of transactions we do, and because of our experience and expertise in the non-regulated banking industry around the world. The capital that our clients get allows them to get the funding they need to expand their business, have funding to buy auxiliary businesses, get funding for projects. In this video, nor any of our videos, do we give you any legal advice, tax advice, investment advice. The intention and purpose of this video is strictly for entertainment and education purposes. My name is Taimour Zaman. I'm the author of the book Hypergrowth. My company, Allfunds Global, in partnership with my small team and over 500 brokers around the world, I'm proud to say we score 4.9 out of 5 on Trustpilot with reviews of our customers. I like to say we have a passion for what we do in really helping clients exponentially grow their business by understanding private banking really well. One of the common questions I get is, Taimour, there's a recession or depression that's going to be hitting us. There's a global inflation that's coming that we are facing. We just survived COVID. We need to find a way to become self-funded for life. What are 3 ways that's proven, just a proven template that anybody could deploy? So the first common answer is a religion called using other people's money. This religion is often found in places like real estate investing. If you're a real estate investor or experienced real estate investors, maybe is a correct way of saying it. At some point, a lot of real estate investors use money from friends and family. If they grow enough, they may hire an attorney and get a prospectus so they can raise money from the public. If you're a CEO of a publicly traded company, you are selling shares and people are giving you money for their shares. And that entire industry runs a religion called using other people's money. When you use other people's money, you're getting funding for projects you want to do. And if you do it long enough, you can get funding for life. Really, you can. You can be on the phone all day long, raising money from friends and family, do an IPO, whatever the deal is, to raise money constantly, but you're using other people's money. The second religion, this is one of my passions, one of my favorite things to do, is to go get yourself a banking license. Not a bank account, a banking license. If you open up a bank account in a lot of foreign jurisdictions like Cayman Islands, Panama, Dubai, Singapore, there are a lot of countries that allow foreigners to open up something called Schedule B bank. Now, Schedule A is Schedule B bank. And so what happens is that when you deposit money in a Schedule B bank, you have to deposit with a central bank, simply because you don't own a Schedule A bank. You don't have a bank where people, you get a debit card kind of thing. You're depositing money with a central bank. The central bank, depending which jurisdiction you are set up your banking license in, will give you a line of credit that's 10 times, 15 times, 25 times multiples on the deposit. It's a function of what's called the capital adequacy ratio of the central bank, which is commercial banks and private banks that are. If every time, let's imagine you run a coffee shop, I run a coffee shop, imagine you make 500,000, I make 500,000, and you start depositing your $500,000 every time in every year, as an example, if that's your income, in the central bank. The central bank will give your bank a line of credit at 10 times multiples, and now you get $50 million. That's a lot. It's not a free money, it's a line of credit. And then if you take that $5 million, you go, I don't know, in North America as an example, for project financing, you put that down. Like, when you want to buy a house, you put 20% down and the bank loans you 80%. Same thing. You put down $5 million down and the bank gives you a loan for $20 million, right? So that $500,000 became $20 million. So it's a different way to get self-funded for life is to go get yourself a banking license. If you run a business where you're taking money from other clients, especially in large amounts of money, maybe you're a lender. Like there's a lot of different insurance companies, so lots of businesses where you're constantly getting money from other people. Having a private banking license could be a fantastic strategy for you to copy and deploy. It's very common. A lot of family offices, a lot of people like me, we help or open up private banking licenses or private banks in multiple jurisdictions, and I highly recommend it. Now comes the third strategy. It's very common, really cool. A lot of companies deploy this all along, and it is to become a monetizer. What happens is that you go to a tier 2 or tier 3 bank, like in a different legal jurisdiction. So you're going to, I don't want to say tier 2 countries or tier 3 countries, but you're going to the no-name bank of Azerbaijan, to the no-name bank of Korea. You're going and you're looking for banks that are solid, that have solid foundations, but that bank needs capital. That bank needs capital. And you open up something called custodian bank with that bank, and then you tell the world that you are a monetizer of banking instruments. What happens is that people that get letters of credit and they want to monetize, they will come to you with their letters of credit. Maybe it's $80 million, maybe it's $50 million, maybe it's $500 million, but they're coming to you with their letters of credit for you to monetize it. When you get let's say $100 million of credit from one of the top 30 banks in the world, HSBC, Deutsche Bank, Barclays, I can go on and on, just Google top 30 banks in the world, you are taking their letter of credit and you're going to the no-name bank of Kazakhstan or the no-name bank of Korea, and you're depositing in that bank. These banks, the no-name banks, their paper is worthless. Their paper is almost worthless, really. So when that bank gets $100 million stamp letter of credit from HSBC, as the example, they can go to a central bank and get $1 billion line of credit or a loan or whatever the deal is in that jurisdiction. And then for that, they're going to give you, let's say, $500 million in form of a non-recourse loan, or maybe they give you $1 billion in form of a loan, but there's something they give you that's far more exponentially bigger than that $100 million of credit that you got. What the monetizer does is they give the client that brings that instrument some form of a commission. The legal word for it is a non-recourse or recourse loan. They do it one of two ways. If they're super greedy and they have a reputation, they'll say, I'm going to give you a loan. If they are a small player like a family office, they'll say, I'll give you a non-recourse loan between 50 to 80% or 90% of the face value of the instrument that you give me the monetizer. So if you want to become a monetizer, you're looking for a tier 2, tier 3 bank. You open up a custodian account with them, and you become something called a monetizer. You then go and advertise this in a professional way, obviously, dealer, broker, so on. You tell them that you're a monetizer for banking instruments. You will start to receive every day, I don't know, 5, 10, 500 sometimes. People will come in with instruments saying, we want you to monetize our instrument, our letter of credit, our standby letter of credit, our bank guarantee, medium-term loans, whatever the deal is. And really what you're doing is you're taking, and I'm giving an SBLC as a common example, you're giving a $100 million SBLC into the bank that you have an account with. That bank, they have a private deal with a central bank. That information is not disclosed to you or me or something like that, but they have a private deal with a central bank. That bank gets whatever they get, but for the client who's a monetizer, they'll say $100 million, no problem. We'll give you $500 million or $1 billion line of credit, loan, or something like that. That bank has a private confidential contract with the central bank. They will get something out of it that's massively big for them because their paper is worthless. They in return come back to you and give you a non-recourse loan or a loan that is for, let's say, $100 million. They may give you $1 billion or $500 million, something like that, in form of a non-recourse or recourse loan, kind of thing that you can re-leverage. When you become a monetizer, it's not the opium. You're not using other people's money per se. It's not a banking license. What it is a letters of credit that people coming from all over the world are giving to you. They're saying, can you monetize my instrument? Can you monetize my instrument? You'll give them something called your closing procedure like that. So to wrap this up, there's 2 proven templates how to have your business become self-funded for life. Number 1, a big one, is to use other people's money. Whether you want to become a syndicate, run an IPO, you're using other people's money to leverage, you're leveraging it to fund your projects. Number 2, go get yourself a banking license. Number 3, go become a monetizer. I hope you like the content of this video. If you do, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You will consistently receive customer case studies, customer walkthroughs, banking programs, strategies that the rich are deploying to become richer. And really our intention is to make proven templates, proven programs that actually work and make it available to the average business owner so that your thinking starts to expand for you to start learning a few things, experiment with this. My name is Taimour Zaman from All Funds Global. On behalf of my team and myself, thank you so much. We look forward to the opportunity of working with you. Mr. Zaman, why are you working with my company?
When we came to know about you, it's all about creative project financing. There are some things that you are able to do that regular banks are not able to do. If at all they're doing only for their top customers. So creative project financing for people like us who are in the business of making money for people in a truly trusted way can go a long way to enhance the returns for our investors.
Sure, 100%.
So with your background, with your skill set and the trust that we have built, I think it's going to go a long way in helping our investors.
Absolutely. It's been an honor. Thanks so much, Mr. Zaman. I really appreciate it. Hi friends, and I'm going to take a minute and answer some of your frequently asked questions. The first question, I guess, Taimour, we love a lot of the content you're producing. We're certainly learning a lot. Is there a way that we can work a little bit closer with your organization and learn a little bit more? So the answer to that is we have 4 ways where you can work a little bit closer with us. The first easier way is buy a copy of our book, Hypergrowth, How to Connect with Customers in New Ways. The second way is that if you're working on a project that requires project financing and you're looking for consultation around that, strategies from a proven provider, you can book a consultation call. The third one is if you want to join one of our mastermind groups, our brokers go through a mastermind group with our directors of partnerships, or I run a mastermind group on how to become a bank first. And finally, one of my favorite programs is offering trusted advisory services. Primarily these are for businesses that don't have a CFO or their CFO doesn't have real international banking relationships. They're looking for experts like us to be parachuted for about 6 months, 4 months to look at their assets, look at their strategy, bring in some bank relationships, some product services that could exponentially increase the profitability and the growth of the company. And you can access all of that through the trusted advisory services. If you're interested in things like that, feel free to book a consultation call with me, and I'm happy to help you. Taimour, you're passionate about a mastermind group on why to become a bank first. Why is that so important? Imagine you run a coffee shop and I run a coffee shop. Imagine you buy your coffee beans and your supplies from the same vendor that I buy it from. And imagine my coffee shop is right across your coffee shop. So differentiation is like really pretty much null. But if you drank the Kool-Aid called learn how to become a bank first before you become a coffee shop runner or owner, or being a real estate developer, or being a venture capitalist, whatever you do for a living, if you drank the Kool-Aid of becoming a bank first, you will not have issues and the challenges traditional businesses have. Let me give you an example. Allow me to give you an example. You made $500,000 net profit in your coffee shop business. I made $500,000 net profit in my business. You drank the Kool-Aid on how to become a bank first. You take your $500,000, you walk into places like Cayman Islands that allows foreigners like you and I to open bank licenses, not bank accounts, not corporate accounts, but you open up bank licenses. Well, in places like Cayman Islands, you and I can deposit money in our bank accounts because necessarily in our bank accounts if you own a bank license. What you have to do is deposit your money in the Central Bank of Cayman Islands. You have to deposit money in the Central Bank of Cayman Islands, and the central bank gives your bank a line of credit at 10 times multiples, which means your 500K now turns into $5 million. You take your $5 million, and I don't know where you live, in Europe, in Australia, wherever you live in, you go to your bank, your local bank, and you say, hey, I want to grow my coffee business. I need capital for growing it, or I want to buy an auxiliary business, or I want to invest in a new business, or I want to invest in real estate. Here's my business plan. And you know when you want to buy real estate, you put 20% down, and the bank gives you a loan for 80%. So guess what you do with your $5 million? You put it down, your $5 million as your deposit, and you get your bank to give you a loan for 80% of 80% of the project you're looking for with a $5 million deposit. What that means is that now you get a line of credit for $20 million. So I made $500,000, you made $500,000, and you turned into $20 million. Can you outperform me in advertising? Can you maybe go to the supplier and say, hey, I want to buy bulk coffee beans or whatever the deal is. Give me a discount that you can't give to Taimour because I'm going to be buying it in bulk. And then outwin me on pricing. Can you even at $20 million, even the side business, like invest in real estate or something like that? When you become a bank first, you can, when things like coronavirus happens, the unfortunate event of coronavirus happens, and a lot of these businesses just die, you can outlast that. When the unfortunate Russian invasion of Ukraine happens and inflation goes up, and like all these turmoils that happen, you can outlast that all day long because you drank a Kool-Aid called learn how to become a bank first. And that's why I'm very passionate about teaching this. You're not working with amateurs, you're working with experienced professionals who know what they're doing. Next question, I guess, Taimour, you charge a fee for consultation. That's correct, we do. Why do you guys charge a fee for consultation? There's two answers for that. The first answer is that I provide about 40% of my content completely for free on YouTube. That some of the videos attracts millions of viewers, and that leads to about 600 calls a day to us. And a lot of them are junk transactions. It's joker brokers who are shopping around. Is somebody who doesn't have a real transaction. They're tire kickers that are. By charging a consultation fee, we cut all of that out and we talk to people who are serious about doing business with us. The caliber of people we meet are significantly more when we charge a fee compared to when we don't charge a fee. Second reason why I charge a consultation fee is that a lot of times our clients are looking for, hey, if I participate in this program or whatever it is that I'm doing, what are the returns I can get? Well, if you were going to be a joker broker and start providing returns, that's called solicitation. However, if we're charging a fee, the client is legally hiring us, retaining us, and so when you're hiring us as consultants, retain us as consultants for a very small nominal fee, now we are not soliciting anything. Now comes the best part of the whole thing. We actually refund 100% of the fee to the client at the time of a transaction completing. So we refund 100% of the money when the transaction completes. So this way I wouldn't say there's no cost for the call, but I just want to make sure I'm talking to a qualified individual that's ready, willing, and able to do a transaction versus tire kickers. Who's your ideal client and who's not? Our ideal clients are businesses that have cash, that have to have some kind of liquid cash and or assets like letters of credit, real estate like that, and they're leveraged. They're looking for a large amount of capital that banks are offering primarily to their Fortune 30, Fortune 50 clients like that. You're leveraging us because of a volume of transactions we do with banks, our experience, our expertise, our ability to execute, and this new amount of capital allows our clients to get funding that allows them to buy a business, buy a new business, buy an existing business, expand your business, get the project funding you need for project expansion like that, and that's the market we are interested in serving, businesses that have some kind of liquid capital and or assets, and they're ready to start a transaction. Why is there no defamation or lawsuits against your organization? So knock on wood, as a date of this video, there's no defamation or lawsuits against my organization. Awesome, yeah. There's two answers why there isn't any. The corporate answer is because we operate with a high level of integrity. Everything we do is to law firms, on paper, like things like that. That's the corporate answer. The truthful answer is my vision as a CEO hasn't been bold enough, big enough for me to knock some trees down for this to happen. Here's the facts. Here's some facts. If you look at the big brand names in your household, whichever car you drive, a Honda, a Toyota, a Mercedes, or whatever medicines you have, Tylenol, whoever your fridge manufacturer is, whether you use Google, Facebook, look at the big brands of things you consume in your household. Look at the income statement of these big brands. You will notice every one of them, whether it's the car you drive, the medicine you're consuming, the internet, Google, Facebook, or look at their income statements, and you'll notice that litigation is part of their income statement. Litigation is part of their income statement. Fact is that a lot of organizations, at some point in your growth, in your maturity of your business, litigation, unfortunately, is part of it. And when it comes to us, we're ready, willing, and able. But the fact that we don't have it, my truthful answer, not my corporate answer, is because my vision as the CEO hasn't been bold, big enough for me to try to disrupt the world kind of thing. My last question is, we are interested in learning about participating in small cap or alternative to small cap private placement programs. Why would people choose your organization versus alternative options? I would think because we use attorneys, securities attorneys, international attorneys. I think that's probably a big one. Because I'm in a private placement program, have been in a private placement program, I've done buy and sells myself successfully. So I would say the why choose us, experience, expertise, ability to execute. We're not providing providers that have a Gmail, Hotmail, email address like that. We're working with some of the best attorneys out there in having the attorney manage the client's funds, or having the attorney actually run a private placement program, or the attorney representing the clients with platforms we vetted, like things like that. My name is Taimour Zaman. Before I let you go, I just want to say on behalf of my associates, my team, myself, I'm really, really, really grateful for the time you invest in watching our YouTube videos, and I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Your time and attention are yours to keep, and the fact that you watch our YouTube videos and give us some of your time, I just want to say I'm truly grateful for that. Thank you so much. I look forward to the opportunity of meeting you, and hopefully for the opportunity of also helping you out on a project. Thank you.